Hey there, comic friends, I'm Travis, and it's New Comic Book Day, or at least New Comic Book Day for me anyway. 18 issues, it looks like this week. Back to the normal amount of books. I don't know what was up with last week with only 10. So, let's see. Will be a comic book roundtable, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be more than just me there, we'll see. What else? I can't think of anything. I knew there was stuff, but I can't remember what it was. I got tickets to Emerald City Comic Con for next March. I'll be going for all 4 days. So, of course, as we roll in closer to that, we'll hear more and more about that. I have no idea who's going to Emerald City Comic Con as far as guests and artists and writers and all that kind of good stuff. I got the tickets because I skipped last year, so I like to go every couple years. The 4-day passes sold out in like mere minutes. I got a 4-day pass. Other people I know did not get 4-day passes, so they had to buy individual days, which costs more, which is kind of a bummer. It was quite the madhouse to get hotel reservations. So I've spent all of my play money already, just from getting that stuff, because it's getting more and more expensive every year. The discounts aren't quite as deep as what they once were, and because the con is now a day longer, it adds more days if you're traveling and all that kind of stuff. So all around more expensive as far as that stuff goes. Anyway, I said I don't know who's going to be there as far as guests and creators and all that kind of stuff go, but I do know there's people that I am looking forward to meeting again or meeting for the first time in the flesh in person are going to be going to the con, so I'm super excited for that. Really, for me, this year, it's as much or more about getting together with other comic book friends in the flesh, which I think is going to be awesome. I look forward to actually meeting these people. Some of them I consider really good friends as it is, so very much looking forward to getting to chat with them in person. Anyway, let's talk some comic books. As I said, 18 issues this week. I know some of the books that come out just from people talking about it online, but do not know exactly what all I'm getting. So let's start out with The Wicked and Divine, issue number, what are we on now? 32. Things are really getting crazy in the book. That's all I can really say. Really much enjoying it. Clearly, you all are reading this right. If you're not reading it in singles, you're reading it in trades. I would suspect. No? Okay. I really like it. Dionysus there on the cover. Looking forward to seeing what happens there. There's been some trauma, and looking forward to seeing how some of that trauma works itself out. So that should be some good stuff there. Next up, we have The American Gods. This is issue number 8. Like I said, I haven't been reading this. The wife is reading it. I've just basically been buying it. I'm buying the covers that I like, the Dave McCraig covers. No. Who is the covers on this now? It's not right. I've been having a hell of a time with names the last couple weeks. I think it's Alzheimer's finally catching up to me or something. Yeah. David Mack. That's who does the covers. Done the alternate covers on it. And I've been liking the covers. They've been cool, so... But I haven't been reading it. At some point, I know I will sit down and read that when I don't have a whole lot of else to read. I will sit down and read a bunch of those in a row. Just not really feeling the scummed Hampton art. Just feels really static. And I don't know if that's because Hampton is being guided by P. Craig Russell, and that's where the static comes from. The art doesn't have life, and so not enjoying it. New Superman. This is issue number 16, Equilibrium. I'm very much looking forward to this issue because I think this issue kind of addresses some stereotypes and some racism against Chinese from Detective Comics way back at the very beginning of the Batman run of the books, is my understanding. I'll be reading it to find out for sure, but I do know that he's been kind of teleported either time or dimensions or something like that. He is in a Chinatown of sorts, and I'm curious to see how that all plays out in there. More new artists on the book. Yang is still writing it. I really like this character and his take on the DC universe from this perspective. I really like Peoples is yet a new one. Peoples' friend and Hi-Fi. Hi-Fi, of course, is the colorist. So yeah, I'm not sure what it looks like inside, but Well, check it out. I've really been enjoying New Superman. 16 issues. It's really been a lot of fun. It's been a kind of a different take, and it's all kind of mostly work. The art's been tough in places, but story-wise, the rest of it's been pretty good. So now we got Bizarro Reborn. More of the Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 15. Don't you people have detecting to do? So they are fighting against the group from Detective Comics, looks like. Because you've got Azrael there, and of course Batwoman, and Orphan back there, and Clayface. So curious to see how this all pans out and whatnot. Should be fun. Dexter Soy back on art, so yeah, oops for that. This Bizarro that's super smart right now. At some point he's going to be losing his intelligence. What the hell are they going to do in the meantime? It's been actually a lot of fun for a Lobdell book. I will keep saying that. 15 issues in. Still shocking. Wonder Woman, issue number 32, Children of the Gods. Hercules has been killed. The Treasures of Hercules now we get here. So she's wearing a lot of the kind of the motif of the lore of Hercules, along with some of the critters there. Clearly the Hydra back there. Your three-headed dog, Cerberus? I don't remember if that's what it was. Anyway, Cerberus. I'm being corrected. Cerberus back there. So, first issue was okay as far as this kind of story by Robinson. We'll see what the second issue of it. I hear my name gets dropped in this issue. So, curious to be checking that out. My name being dropped. Hellboy issue number 2, or Hellboy and the BPRD 1955. This is more of the occult intelligence. Looking forward to seeing where this goes. Some great Brian Chiarella art on there. Very much looking forward to that. Checking out, seeing what that's all going to be like. For sure. Redlands, issue number 3, right? Yes, issue 3. This nice, dark, wooded greens and browns. Some figure back there. See that figure back there? Yeah. So give credit for where this goes, because it's really curious, because the people you see as the kind of what you would consider the protagonists, the heroes. There's actually alligators back there. I didn't realize that. Oh, those were logs to start out with. Those aren't logs. Those are alligators. I'm looking forward to seeing what these characters, because they're not wholly good. They're doing some, what looks to me like in the second issue was some human sacrifice. Somebody correct me if I really read that wrong, but so I'm curious to see what's next. What's this all going to be having and whatnot. Some great story and coloring by Jody Belair and Vanessa Del Rey doing most of the pencil work. Needed a gulp of tea. It's cold here. I don't know what's happened, but it's suddenly gotten cold. Issue 2 of Retcon. Matt Nixon written, most importantly, Toby Cybers drawn book. Just kind of crazy, some crazy art. It's got the whole retcon kind of thing, and there's the retelling of a story. That's the premise of the retcon stuff in there. Got some tea on my mustache. Anyway, so very much looking forward to that. This tattooed woman, clearly she's just throwing some bones, reading some cards. She's kind of a significant player in this kind of supernatural story. The government, has been kind of hiding and using supernatural beings to attack other supernatural beings. Well, the rest of us don't realize that that's what's happening because they cover it up, a la X-Files-ish kind of thing and whatnot. So I'm just kind of curious to see where it plays next. Love it for the art. Toby Cypress art, just really good fun. Really love his style. It's some cool stuff. So what we are, issue number 6, I want to say. Yes, issue number 6 of Royal City. I decided not to go with the alternate cover. The variant covers were all record albums. I think this was this first one is Sonic Youth, maybe? Is it Sonic Youth? Goo. The album Goo, I think. Maybe not. Anyway, I decided I was going to stick with the regular covers. But anyway, I think the reason they're going with those alternate covers from the 90s is because this is going back in time to kind of explore the youth of the kids of these main characters that we're playing. So I'm curious to see how that story works out as far as that part goes. Some fun. Ms. Marvel issue number 23. So I can't remember the character's name. This is a kind of a hero from her trip when she was in India. Is in this issue. I think she actually is coming to Jersey. I could be wrong though, because that looks like we're riding a train. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. I like the two characters together. It should be fun. Looking forward to seeing what the next arc is for Ms. Marvel, Camilla. What's next for her? Because I really enjoyed the last arc. Made me happy because I was kind of starting to not feel the character. Black Science issue number 32. More of our super team here, battling the multi-dimensional worms that are consuming everything. So our heroes are here. See how they're going to fight. Some of them have been trained as superheroes. The Sun, for instance. Grant, of course, is still missing. All of his high intelligence is gone. He's just a guy, trying to make some hard decisions. Pia, his daughter, seems to have gained the access to that intelligence that he had because she went and defeated the witch that has stole the intelligence from him. So I'm just really super excited to see where this book goes. Love the art. The Matteo Scalera art is just always excellent. Love these covers. I love the fact that Black Science has largely maintained this design of a cover for 32 issues. It and East of West, they're just very immediately you can tell what you're getting because of the design. There's just elements of it. This makes it look like a pulp, 50s, 60s sci-fi kind of a book. It just has those kind of elements to it. I really like that. So I like it when the covers have those same sort of elements that carry throughout the whole thing. I just really enjoy that quite a bit. Next up, we have Grass Kings, issue number 8. Are we going to deal more with the brother? Is the brother Robert? I think Robert is the actual king. More of him and his adventure, his kind of ghosts, his skeletons as to why he left the Grass King lands for a while, why he's come back. What's the significance of that? And, him being a policeman and how that all jags out. We'll see. The fantasy book that I enjoy reading. Issue 27 of Birthright. We're getting into the heavy end of things as far as what happened with Mikey and Lore and all of that kind of stuff is really coming to a header. Really enjoy this book. Brenson and Lucas art is just so on point. Love everything about it. Awesomely drawn beards, the detail, the line work, the fine line work, the heavy lines. It's just great. It's not all based on heavy lifting from the colorist, but the colorist clearly does add extra elements to the book. Just makes me very excited to read it. New book. New Wildstorm books. This is the first spin-off of the main Wildstorm book. This is Michael Cray. This is our character who is been kind of a hitman for Io. I believe it's Io that he's the one that was the hitman for. He has been fired. They sent cleaners to come and get rid of him. He is suffering from a supposedly terminal brain cancer. He's only got a few days left. His eyes get opened up in the main Wildstorm book as to the fact that his employers are questionable on their behavior, on who they're hitting, who they're taking out. They're not always necessarily bad people as far as he's concerned. He's not totally on board with that. So he gets kind of rescued, not exactly sure by who, but all that stuff is going to pan out here pretty quick. And we'll start to see. But anyway, here's his own story, written by Brian Hill. And Stephen Harris is the artist on the book. So Dexter Vines must be the inker, and Steve Becciolato is doing the colors on the book. This is Brian Hill with Warren Ellis, but I think Warren Ellis is like the curator, kind of like Gerard Way is of Young Animals. Ellis is of this, but I think it really is, Ellis is kind of, this is where we're going, and it's Hill driving it. So very much looking forward to checking out this thing. It's a 12-issue miniseries. You got your little counter there. It's on number 1. There's number 12 down there. I'm just excited to see kind of how that all pans away. This cover is not by Harris, though. It's got Conway on it and Boccialetto. So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to checking it out, seeing what that's about, exploring that character more. Here, I believe, is the last issue of Superwoman. As much as I love the character, like the character design and whatnot, story's just not really did it for me. This is the Midnight Hour Part 1. So I'm not sure exactly what all is going on in it. There, I'm just reading the Lois Lane and Steel, Lost in the Darkness of Midnight. Parsari is the artist. I don't know. That's another new artist, I believe. Hi-Fi doing colors in this one also. So I don't know. I'm just torn. I really like the character. I just wish that it's just the story in itself is not hitting it for me, and the art has been serviceable, but not exciting. I want one of those parts to be up a notch more, and then I'd be excited about continuing to pick it up. I've kind of neglected to pick up more issues and picked up other issues of it, so we'll see. I have to order my comics. Probably going to do that maybe this weekend. I'm sure it's not going to be on there, though. I keep telling myself I made that decision. Anyway, another number 1 issue. Very excited about this. Ragman issue number 1. I really love the Ragman character. I've liked him through most of the DC universe. I don't know how I'm feeling about the version of him, like if you go so far as to encompass television. The character has appeared on Arrow. I don't know how I feel about that. But this great Jewish superhero with his rags of souls that he wears, just really all kinds of interesting elements, whatnot. It is written by Ray Fox, which I'm hot and cold on. Really like some of his stuff. Some of his stuff I'm on. It's Miranda and De La Cruz doing the colors, Miranda on art. I really, really enjoy those aspects a lot. I really like that artist, so I'm excited for that. So excited for this 6-issue mini-series. And then the artist is going on to do Harley Quinn. New creators on Harley Quinn, for what that's worth. Next up, we have Mr. Miracle, issue number 3. And I've moved over to the Mitch Gerard's covers. I just like them. It feels like what's going on in the book more. So I've decided I'm going to pick up those covers. I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping that somewhere along the way I can get issue 1 and 2 of a variant cover. I have the regular covers, but I want the variant covers just to have a consistent collection as far as who's on the cover art and whatnot. But super excited to read this book. It is the first 2 issues I've loved to death. Love these characters, and so I'm just curious to see where it goes. Trust the writer, the creators on this book to tell me something awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Issue number 3 of 12. And finally this week is Detective Comics. Issue number 966, A Lonely Place of Living. I don't know. We'll see what goes on with Tim Drake. We all know how excited I am about the whole Tim Drake thing. It's got a Batman with a gun in it, so clear it's a Batman from another dimension or something like that, and we'll see what else pans out in it. So, whatever. I'm looking forward to getting the whole drama of Mr. Oz and getting Drake back and getting back to some level of telling a similar story that doesn't necessarily have to do with Drake, because I just do not give a crap about Tim Drake. Anyway, that is it. That's my books. I'm going to go read some books, drink some tea, and warm up. And you all have a good one. Have a great weekend. Hope to check some of you out along with me on the Comic Book Roundtable on Saturday. Have a great one, everybody.